Good morning and welcome to week 4 of our prayer journey using as a guide our book, Creating a Life with God by Daniel Wolpert. Today we're actually covering 2 weeks of prayer practices, weeks 3 and weeks 4. Both of these practices build on what we've done the first 2 weeks, but in different ways. They're both rather simple, but one is definitely harder than the other. And I wanted to just say a little bit about my setting this morning. I am in the prayer corner of our sanctuary. I have candles in the background. I have a prayer shawl wrapped around me that was lovingly made by some of our women here. If we shift around just a little bit, you can see a prayer wall. And I want to invite anybody to come and use this at any time. You don't have to stay long. It doesn't have to be an elaborate step that you make. It can just be a simple minute where you come and light a candle and offer up a prayer. So, week 3, and the practice is called the Jesus Prayer. And this is simply a prayer of repetition. And the line that is repeated over and over is, Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. Now there's 2 points of power in this prayer. First of all, there's prayer or power in the name of Jesus. And you say that over and over and over. And there's also great power in repetition. Think of anything that you do over and over and over, and it begins to imprint a pattern. It begins to become part of your muscle memory. So there's a lot of power in this very simple prayer. The purpose of this practice is to concentrate the mind on the name of the power of Jesus. He is to be the sole object of our mind as we are faithful to the command, you shall have no other gods before me. And so this is one of those prayers that can be done in any quiet moment of your day. You can find a comfortable chair to sit in at home. You can do it while you're out for a walk. You can do it in your car on your commute to or from work. And it's simple. This is the simple one. You simply say over and over and over again, Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me. Set a time. Again, if you're a beginner in this, just a minute or 2 minutes to sit and repeat this prayer over and over. If you're more comfortable and would like to go further, try 10 or 15 minutes or even longer. And as you repeat that prayer over and over, allow the repetition to seep into your whole being. That's the week 3. Week 4 is also simple, but it is also very hard. This is one of the hardest prayer practices that I think there is, but it can be incredibly powerful. And this is what's called the Apophatic prayer, the silent contemplative prayer. And it's different than just simply sitting in silence with God, listening for God. If you're like me, when you get a few moments of quiet, the mind keeps racing. And there's all kinds of chatter going on about what's coming up and thinking through that next task that you have. This prayer invites us into a time of radical emptiness, a time of non-thought. Now, it's like telling someone not to look or think about the elephant in the room, right? As soon as you do that, you start thinking about it. But what we're doing is creating a radical emptiness within oneself. We surrender ourselves and we simply wait for God to know us. As the book says, we place ourselves at the mercy of God and we allow ourselves to be filled with the grace of our Creator. And so in essence, we are emptying ourselves as a container, as a vessel, so that that space can then be filled by God. Okay? So let's step through how to practice this. You'll definitely want a quiet place by yourself for this one. Sit in a chair. Sit in a comfortable but preferably in an upright position. Close your eyes. Start, as always, by taking a few deep breaths from deep into your belly. Think of a word that describes God's presence to you. As I have my candles lit, the word that I had chosen when I tried this one was light. And so I always had that candle with the light right there, and I could feel it. Okay? Say that word once to yourself, and then be quiet. Don't think. Keep your mind and your body as empty as possible. As the distractions come, and they will come, simply return to your word. As in my case, light. And let that remind you of God's presence. Now this one's definitely harder as you get started, but it's one with more and more practice that you'll be able to have more success with keeping your mind empty. You'll definitely want to start with a shorter amount of time, again, just 2 or 3 minutes if you're new to this and if you're a beginner with some of these prayer practices. But the more you can start to elongate that time, the more you simply sit as an empty vessel and allow God and God's grace and God's love to fill you. And then at the end of your prayer, express your gratitude and say thank you. Phew. So those are weeks 3 and 4. I wish you great peace in trying out these prayer practices. I pray that all of you are finding new connections with God. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback and how you are experiencing these prayer practices. Have a blessed day.